Hello, my name is Erica Othen of Crystalline Codes, and I'm here to activate and illuminate to help raise the vibration on Earth. Welcome to another edition of my Lunar Energy Report. This is going to be for the full moon in Scorpio, which is going to be exact on Thursday, May 7th at 3:45 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So before I jump into the energy of the full moon, I would think it would be really good to explain the month of May. So let's go into a little bit of the energy of the month of May, what to expect, some predictions, and some of the planetary alignments that we're going to be experiencing. So month of May is going to be a month of retrogrades. We just had Pluto go retrograde on April 25th. Pluto is going to be retrograde from the 25th to about October 4th, from about 24 degrees in Capricorn to about 22. Pluto is an outer planet. From our perspective, moves really slow. That's the reason why through this retrograde transit, it's only going to be going a few degrees. It is significant though because for a few reasons. Number one, the energy of Pluto is a major player in this full moon because the full moon is in Scorpio and Pluto is a ruling planet of Scorpio. Also, Pluto retrograde is going to be going over that critical degree, 23 degrees, which was really the apex point that shifted this planetary reset. So when Saturn and Pluto came together on January 12th, that was a big shift in everything that we've been experiencing with the collective, with this whole big rebirth and, social distancing and everything that we are, the mandates, all that moving through right now. So that was like the ignition of it. Pluto going in, Pluto retrograde is going to be reigniting that point during this time. So it should be interesting to see how that all plays out. Then we have Saturn going retrograde May 7th through September 28th. Currently, Saturn is in the sign of Aquarius. It's going to be retrograding to about 25 degrees of Capricorn. So again, also very close to that degree, that 23, 24, 25 degrees of Capricorn. If you have planets at that 23, 24, 25 degree of Capricorn, of Cancer, or making any aspects of this, you're going to be feeling these transits more. Then we've got Venus going retrograde right after the full moon. So May 13th through June 25th, Venus is going to be moving retrograde from about 21 degrees of Gemini to about 5 degrees on the 25th. And then we also have Jupiter going retrograde May 14th through September 12th from 27 degrees Capricorn to about 17 degrees of Cap. So again, Jupiter is also going to be going over that point. Jupiter is also going to be conjunct Pluto, which is another major theme of this entire year. So we've got a lot of energy with these retrogrades. A retrograde is a time for review, reflection, revision. It's time to kind of take a step back and go within. It could also be a time for renewal. Things are going to feel like they're slowing down, which I can imagine is hard to believe that it could slow down any more than it already has been, with all the mandates and the social distancing and the stay at home and shelter in place. All of this energy, which was ignited by that Saturn-Pluto conjunction, right, in Capricorn, which is the sign of control and governments and hierarchies and conspiracy theories, right? That's a very Pluto vibration. It's going to kind of feel like we're taking a pause, a step back, right, to go within and really integrate a lot of this energy that we have been healing and moving through and experiencing. We've been doing a lot of inner work, right? There has been a huge shift that we are all experiencing on a collective level. In an individual level, we are really shifting into this new Earth frequency, this age of Aquarius that is here now, right? We are experiencing it all in real time. where we're shedding these layers. We are stepping more into our truth. We are discerning what feels real and right and true to us. This whole planetary reset, like a rebirth, I'm calling it, is a very Scorpio vibration, right? And it should be interesting to see how this all plays out within the collective. So let's talk a little bit about the full moon. Oh, before we do get into the full moon, I do want to say another huge planetary alignment that actually I'm recording this on the 5th, so that's happened today on May 5th. The nodes, the lunar nodes just transitioned into signs. They went from Capricorn and Cancer, cardinal signs, into now Gemini and Sagittarius. So if you are a mutable sign, you're also going to start feeling these shifts more. So Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces, Virgo. The nodes are either right in your sign or it's going to be kind of squaring it. So you're going to feel these nodal shifts. The nodes are going to be in Gemini and Sagittarius for about 18 months. So this is also going to be where the eclipses are going to be occurring. We do have a few more eclipses that are going to be happening in the Cancer-Capricorn axis, but you know, in a few months, we're going to be experiencing these Gemini-Sagittarius eclipses. This is relevant because the nodes are like a North Star, right? The North Star of our collective consciousness. So in the sign of Gemini, that's where the North Node is. Gemini is all about speaking your truth. It is about sharing, you know, your message. It's very throat chakra, right? Also how you perceive new thoughts, new ideas, discerning information, learning about new things, exploring new things, using your mind, using your voice, speaking your truth, sharing your gifts through using your voice, right? So we're going to be seeing a lot more of this. I feel that we have been already seeing a lot more of this, people taking this time, you know, as a sacred pause to really go within and learn, explore. You know, we're taking in a lot of information right now, and people are really sharing their gifts too, you know, making videos, creating more content, using their voice to speak their truth. All of this is a very Gemini vibration. So keep that in mind for the next 18 months because that's going to be the transit of the nodes. But back into the full moon. So this full moon again is going to be exact on the 7th, 3:45 a.m. Pacific time at 17 degrees of Scorpio. If you have any energy at that degree, planetary energy, any planets, you're going to be feeling this full moon more. Scorpio is an intense sign, right? It is probably the most intense of the zodiac in the most beautiful way. I love Scorpio energy because it's the realness, it's raw, it's truth. It's really getting to the bottom, to the depths, to like, you know, what's beneath the surface, really exposing things, bringing that energy to light, alchemizing it and transmuting it. When I think of the energy of this full moon, I keep on seeing this butterfly, right? And a butterfly all about transformation and metamorphosis. And I keep on seeing us in this cocoon-like stage, right? We're in this like chrysalis stage as we're taking this pause and, you know, taking this time within to really transmute the energy to the light, to shift our perspective in order to, you know, just come into the infinite possibility of who we really are, what we really can do, why we're here, why we came here, how can we share our gifts, how can you embody, you know, your purpose and your life mission. I feel that that has been a really beautiful way to navigate this more denser energy, these contrasting energies in the collective, but also, you know, in your own personal space, in your own life. You know, how we can use this time to be an expression of our greatest good, how we can really step up and show up, you know, using this energy for our greatest potential, aligning with our highest timeline. Scorpio is the alchemist. So how can we really, you know, shift our perspective, our perception of what's going on to align with our highest timeline and align with our highest self? That is definitely going to be a theme for this full moon. The sun, which is in Taurus, so that's the opposition, right? Anytime we see a full moon, it's an opposition between the sun and the moon. The sun, which is in Taurus, is right next to Mercury. So more mercurial energy. It's that kind of Gemini energy again, because Mercury is a ruler of Gemini. Even though the sun is in Taurus, we have this kind of desire to express ourselves, our thoughts, our feelings, to learn, to kind of receive more information and allow it to come through. Taurus is all about allowing, receiving what you value most, how you create value for yourself, for your gifts, for your offerings. All of that is a very Taurus vibration, but it is on the opposite end of, you know, the moon in Scorpio. So the moon is making a kind of wide square to Mars. The moon, Mars it could have this almost defensive vibration. And because it's also making that square to the sun and Mercury, maybe just kind of taking a moment to slow down, sitting with your feelings, allow them to come up, come through without judgment for yourself or for others, and just kind of allowing things to simmer. Okay, because the moon and Mars having that square, it's like, oh, I want to talk about my feelings and I just want to get it out. And it's like this it could be a kind of an aggressive, abrasive energy. So if you want to navigate the intense vibration of this moon, it would be encouraged, it is encouraged to kind of let things simmer a little bit. Don't be too quick to pull the trigger, because this is a full moon of triggers. Emotional triggers, emotional wounds coming up to the surface. So it's important that we just give ourselves some compassion, be gentle with yourself, handle yourself with care, right? Yourself and others with care and kindness and love, compassion, because we're going through a lot right now. And this has been a tremendous healing process. We're doing a lot of inner work. Scorpio rules our subconscious. It rules, you know, those like internal processes or psychological processes. So we've just been doing it in our dreams, in our day-to-day, just healing tremendously as we really do step into this new vibration, this new shift of the new earth. Mars in Aquarius is like this freedom fighter, right? Because Mars is the warrior and Aquarius energy is the humanitarian. It's the revolutionary. It's like, let's make change. We've got to like quickly, abrupt, make change. So Mars in this sign, it's at the 26th degree, at a later degree, you know, fighting for your rights, fighting for human rights, fighting for equality, you know, not sitting down for things that don't add up or don't make sense. We're going to be seeing more protests coming through as people start to question and discern these methods of control. You know, that kept on coming through, and I was thinking about the energy of this full moon and really everything that we've been going, you know, moving through in the collective with the planetary shift and this reset is control, and how there has been this overarching vibration of compliance and you know, not asking questions, right? It's like consume and comply and, you know, collectively, because it's tied into the fear, right? What's the easiest way to control a population? Instilling fear. Not saying whether or not it is manufactured or not. It's just, you know, when humans get in a vibration of fear, they're easily controlled or manipulated because we're not asking questions. You know, we just want to kind of align with what's best. It's almost like this process of our mind kind of shuts down, and we're just operating from a very survival-based model, which is a lot what's going on. We can feel it. You can feel it when you go into a grocery store. You can feel it when you go outside. A lot of people operating in this mode of fear, you know, kind of becoming you don't want to become a vibrational match to what you don't want to attract. So how do we navigate this? Well, aligning with your highest self, aligning with your highest timeline, you know, and really not allowing all of the external outside influences to inundate you, to distort your reality, because that has been a predominant vibration, is, you know, the constant, well, you should do this and you have to do this and you have to operate this way, because if you don't, you're going to get this. And, you know, all that vibration is coming from fear, scarcity, lack, confusion. There's a lot of illusion going on with the collective, with what we've been experiencing. There is still some of that vibration with this full moon, because the moon is trining Neptune. Neptune is about, it's the connection to spirit, right? It's unconditional loving consciousness. It's Christ consciousness. It's this connection to the ethereal realm, unity. Okay, so our inner needs, our inner emotions are going to be wanting this like unity, right? Vibration, this like loving vibration. With this connection to Neptune, it's also making a beautiful flowing aspect to Mercury and the Sun. So I'm predicting we're going to see more truth being exposed, discerning. We're really able to see beyond the veil, see through what is real. How do we discern and use our judgment and question things in order to realign with our greatest good, in order to realign with that of which what we really are, who we really are, why we came here. That has been a beautiful expression on how we are navigating this transit, using it to really go within, to realign with our life purpose, our mission, why we're here, using our voice, sharing our gifts, sharing our truth, speaking up. I encourage and fully support, keep on doing it. Keep on sharing and doing what you love, aligning yourself with that, because that is why we really came here. That is what we really came here to do, to fulfill our highest, greatest potential, to, you know, step into our full power of limitless possibilities, of infinite possibilities as divine cosmic beings of light. Our potential is infinite. Use this energy to step into that, step into your power, step into your purpose. The veil is thin, but it, you know, it's a powerful opportunity to really be able to see through the crap, really, right? Into the truth, into what like feels good. You're gonna know, you're gonna feel it, you're gonna sense it. Our senses are heightened. Our ability to discern the truth is heightened as we step into this new way of being in this new age. So all of that are really beautiful expressions. We do, again, like I said, Mars square, it's a wide square to Mercury. You know, just be mindful on your speech and using it, and, you know, use your word as your wand, right? You know, use your thoughts and your mind and your speech and how you communicate embodying your highest self. So using your words with care and kindness, taking some time to just kind of, you know, if you do get triggered, try not to just be reactive and lash out, because this Mercury, this square to Mars is that, you know, use the power of Mars in Aquarius in its exalted expression as a voice for the voiceless, as a freedom fighter, as a revolutionary for, you know, bringing power to the people. Okay. That would be an exalted expression on how to use this kind of tense T-square that we've got going on between the Moon, Sun, Mercury, and Mars. Let's see, what else do we have going on? We do have Mercury and the Sun making a beautiful trine to Pluto. So Pluto is a ruling planet of Scorpio. A lot of this Pluto energy going on in the sky, in the collective. It's just the vibration. It's really time surrendering, okay? Kept on coming through. Not the kind of surrender like, oh, I give up, or oh, I give in, or raising the white flag, right? It's not that vibration of surrendering. It's radical trust. It is like sacred divine trust, just knowing it's going to be okay. God, the universe, your angels, your divine team, source, whatever feels good to you, right? A higher power, all of that, your higher self got your back, right? Got our back. We're all in this together. We are eternally supported. We are eternally guided. You know, trusting in that it's all going to work out. We're all going to be okay. The truth is coming to light, trusting in that, surrendering to that, not allowing, you know, kind of your mind to sort of get into a loop, a cycle of fear and worry and anxiety, you know, being present, bringing it back in, grounding. Those are all very Taurus vibrations, bringing yourself back down to earth, bringing yourself back to your body is a very Taurus vibration, which is so important now as we are experiencing all of these contrast vibrations going on in the world. It's so important that you take this time or any time for yourself to breathe, release, let things go. Don't hold on to it. You know, if it's not serving you, if it doesn't feel good, if it doesn't feel in alignment with your greatest purpose, your mission, you gotta let it go, right? We gotta let it go. And sometimes it's not hard. I mean, sometimes it's not easy, and it could be really hard, you know, but trusting that everything is alchemizing for your greatest good, your greatest potential, being kind and gentle with yourself through others, you know, and others through this process, because it's been a lot. We've all been experiencing a lot. You know, there's a lot going on with the collective energy, you know, using this energy to really alchemize it and do this healing so you can move through it. A moon in Scorpio, you know, things are gonna come up. Feelings, maybe things that have kind of been pushed down for a while now, they're coming up. Allow them to come up and come through so you can finally heal through it. So you can finally move through it to transmute it, right? The butterfly keeps on coming through. Right now we are in this beautiful sacred space. We're in this cocoon, right? And we are crystallizing into this beautiful butterfly, which is really going to be this whole new world, which could be an exciting time. You know, a butterfly in its cocoon probably thinks that it's the end, right? It doesn't understand that this is like this beautiful opportunity for rebirth. So truly, that is what I feel we are all in the midst of, is this beautiful planetary rebirth. The earth is flourishing as we take this reset, right? As we take this sacred pause. So thinking about that, meditating on that, how the earth, you know, is just kind of flourishing as humanity takes its time to heal and to really dive deep and go within. Scorpio energy with the moon, all about self-empowerment. So what can you do, you know, to make yourself, you know, feel in your full power, right? How can you trust more? How can you show up more? How can you heal more? How can you, you know, be real with yourself, right? Scorpio brings that real, raw, authentic truth, like cut through the bullshit. Let's get real. Let's get to it. That's the vibration of Scorpio. It's going to be the vibration of this full moon, really, which is beautiful, you know, like exposing these truths that need to come up because the ground is literally like, right, like shaking, and we know it's there, right? We can feel it, right? So allow it to come through so you can finally release it and move through it, because this Scorpio full moon doesn't want to hold anything back, right? It's like release it and let it go. Okay, and that is truly what is for our highest potential, our highest timeline, and our greatest good. So I think that is everything that I want to touch on with this full moon in Scorpio. Let's pull a couple cards for the collective using the Black Moon Astrology deck. Okay, so this is going to be a collective reading for the full moon in Scorpio, calling in our angels, our guides, our higher self, calling in God, our divine team, our cosmic lineage, our cosmic family, our star family, calling in all benevolent beings of the highest light, the highest energy, purest energy of love, with the purest attention for the greatest good of all. So, okay, so the three cards that I picked, the first one that we have, Jupiter return benefits. This is a beautiful card. Jupiter is all about expansion, right? So for this full moon, how can we expand and not contract? How can we use this energy of infinite possibilities, stepping into our infinite potential, our highest timeline, our highest self, our highest embodiment? How can we look at the bigger picture, right? Jupiter has a spiritual essence. It's like higher learning, higher understanding. It's like this bird's eye view of what's going on, really bringing blessings and gifts to your life, alchemizing this, magnetizing it, right? A full moon is whatever you want to bring into fullness, what you want to, it's like a time for completion. This is a card of reaping rewards and benefits, right? It is bringing blessings and gifts into your life. This is also the card of good karma. So having it come back to you, right? Allowing and receiving, but it really is tapping into the vibration of infinite possibilities, looking at that higher perspective, affirming everything is going to be okay. This is all working out for your highest good, for your highest timeline, aligning with your highest timeline, and just tapping into the knowing, the divine knowing of your limitless, infinite self. Limitless possibilities, right? Your divine self, your divinity. This is really the energy of that. Jupiter, like I said, expands everything. So where can you expand in your life, not contract, right? Where can you open up to allow all of these beautiful blessings to manifest? Where can you create and attract more blessings? How can you be more of a blessing? By embodying your highest self and sharing your gifts and embodying your mission, embodying the mission, right? Now is the time to do that. Now is the time to step into why you're really here, who you are. tapping into that knowing that you are an infinite cosmic being of light, of magic, of manifestation, able to attract and create just all of this beauty and magic all around you in any moment. So really tapping into the inner knowing, the divine knowing of your limitless potential, and using your gifts and sharing them with the world in your biggest way, right? Like expanding into that. The next card that I pulled is the first card of the deck. It is Spirit, Sun. So what's coming through for this card is your most radiant self, right? How can you embody and just emanate this divine being of light that you are, right? How can you shine your most vibrant? How can you step into the full radiance that you are? How can you move with courage, more courage, right? And bravely embody this beautiful, luminous being that you are, you know? The sun is really, kind of like looking at the silver lining and the bright side of things. It's a very Leo energy. So how can you bring in more play so that all of this denser energy as we're moving through and navigating this timeline right now, you know, bring in more play and fun and joy and passion and purpose into your life. That is definitely the vibration of the Sun card. Also to vitality, vibrancy. How can you emanate that? You know, how can you emanate and be your most vibrant self, your most luminous self, you know, shining and playing and bringing in more joy, more pleasure, more vitality, which is health and well-being. How can you emanate that? How can you give and attract that? So that's definitely the vibration of the full moon. Also, I want to make a note that the sun is in Taurus, right? So the sun with the spirit being in Taurus, that is, you know, pleasure, bringing in more pleasure to your senses, doing what feels good to you, what aligns, you know. How can you embody your gifts and create a space to allow and receive value for the gifts that you share with the world? That is a very Sun and Taurus vibration. And then the last card that I pulled is Pluto. So transformation. Talked a lot about that in the horoscope. Pluto is the ruling planet of Scorpio, right? So all of that energy, how can you be an alchemist? How can you really go deep into the truth of who you are, why you're here? How can you reveal yourself in a more real, raw, and authentic way? How can you alchemize, you know, your feelings? If you are kind of, you know, have a lot of questions with what's going on, and how can you shift that perspective, allowing yourself some time to heal, allowing yourself time to just be without judging your emotions or your processes, because we've been doing so much inner work through this time, right? And just trusting, divine trusting, and knowing that this is all happening for our greatest good, that we have all chosen to be here, right now. We volunteered to come to Earth at this time to be a part of this huge planetary shift that we are all experiencing now, this epic opportunity for a rebirth, for a reset. That is a very Pluto vibration is, you know, this is the rebirth. We are these butterflies and we're in this cocoon as we experience a sacred pause, but we are truly birthing a whole new world, a whole new way of being. And Pluto is part of our empowerment when we really harness the energy for change, when we harness the energy for, you know, shifting any sort of dense energy into the realness, bringing the truth, allowing it, surrendering into the divine knowing and the sacred trust that it is all going to be okay, that it is happening for our greatest good, that again, we've chosen to be here right now, and that we are all here supporting one another in this shift as we embody our highest self, as we align with our highest timeline, and as we co-create this whole new world, this new earth, right? Aligning with 5D as we become it. So really taking the victory, because I feel that Pluto is assessing, okay, where have I been a victim? Where have I been a victor, right? And kind of not judging that process, but taking the victory, knowing that it is all for your greatest good and that it's all happening truly in divine timing, right? And that we're infinitely guided and supported in all of this. So thank you so much for tuning in today. It is truly an honor and one of my greatest joys to be able to share these readings, the astrology and the oracle readings with you all. If this message resonates, I would so appreciate it if you join me on YouTube, if you liked, shared, and subscribed there. And also, if you are interested in a personal reading with me, you can find me on my website, thespiritualchannel.com. There I offer astrology services. I also offer starseed DNA activations, which are meant to align you with your greatest purpose, your highest timeline, and will really share the cosmic energy that you are working with that is a part of your soul and part of your divine team. So just sending you blessings on blessings for this full moon. May you manifest miracles. May you attract eternal success. May you be supported in your eternal success. And thank you so much for tuning in from my heart to yours. Sending you so much love.